Welcome, Honors Physics. This video right here will be for the asynchronous day, and for our A group kids, that's going to be on September 1st, and for our B group kids, that's going to be on 8/31, August 31st. So looking at our asynchronous day, and so for asynchronous people, we are going to be doing a textbook reading assignment, putting notes in our journal about vectors. And we're also going to be signing up for Khan Academy and doing some Khan Academy work with some activities that are going to be posted to you. And the objective of today's lesson is really to understand what's going on with vectors. And this is going to also support the synchronous day lesson too. So the two lessons kind of go hand in hand. The asynchronous day like this, obviously you're not going to be zooming into class, so you guys need to use this video to figure out what's going on. Now, asynchronous people, obviously you're going to have to sort of think on your own and use resources. Don't forget to use the Honors Physics Fall Semester Calendar. And notice right here we've got our Khan Academy information, we've got our textbook information, and we're also going to do like a little lab. And we'll get into that in just a second. And you'll do the lab in your journal too. As far as homework goes today, just make sure you're registered and make sure you're working on the Khan Academy assignments. And those will be due before the next class. Okay, so that said, let's jump into today's idea. So we've got our asynchronous day. We've got our planner link, and we've got our homework. And again, the homework is going to be to do the Khan Academy exercises and also finish up the vector lab in your journal. So skipping ahead, so notice, for our time goals, every week we're looking at 440 minutes for our time goals. So let's account for our time as we work through. So skip over this whole asynchronous lesson, go way down to slide number 36, and that's where we're going to start our asynchronous lesson. That's what you're doing today. So first thing is get into Khan Academy and register. So if you've used Khan Academy before, just sign into your account and then add the class using this code at the top of this slide. Now, once you've done that, you want to change your name from whatever it happens to be to last name, comma, first name. So if everybody would just go ahead and change their screen name. And if you've never registered for Khan Academy, just go ahead and register using your @Jeffco Schools account, and then just do all the same stuff. Okay, so get Khan Academy all started. You'll be good. Go into the course companion. So this is going to be our textbook that we're going to use in Honors Physics. So here's the textbook. And you're going to be using the pages that are listed here, 18 through 23. And so if I just kind of scroll down here to page 18, I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. So scrolling, and we get down to vectors over here. Okay, so still a little bit further. There we go. So notice right here, this is our chapter, and it gives you a little bit of your understandings, applications, some formulas that you'd be using. It talks a little bit about the nature of science, but then we're going to really get into this idea of vector and scalar quantities. So you should be taking notes in your journal as you go through this, and you could also be collaborating with your partners and talking about what you're learning and processing. But notice here it just gives you some information that you're going to read how to calculate vectors when they're put together graphically and mathematically. So it talks a little bit about like how to deal with right angle trig, gives you some example problems, and then that's it. So it just goes up to page 23 right there. So go ahead and do that reading, and then you're going to do some notes in your journal. And then the next thing is to get into the Khan Academy assignment. So this is going to be supported by the reading also. And there's a few assignments that look kind of like this: adding vectors, getting the right answers, and this will be a graded assignment in Khan Academy. And then once you're finished with that, I want you to then get into our lab. Now, this lab would be normally something that we would do in class, and I'd have it as a demonstration in front of the class. And we would take data and we take notes in our journal, and we discuss with our partners what's happening and try to learn from the lab. So when you're going through this lab today, you should be with your partner groups and talking it over, so you guys are collaborating together. But the first thing to do is go into this PhET. So the link is right here. Okay, and once you open up the link in the PhET, I want you to go ahead and play with the different tabs that are down here, and then summarize what you learned about 1- and 2-dimensional vector addition and subtraction. Okay, 1-dimensional is when it's just lined up. Okay, that's what the first tab is. 2-dimensional is when you've got like an X and a Y going together. And then the last one here is actually getting you to play with all the math pieces of this too. Okay, so spend about 10 minutes just playing with the program and try to get some intuitive feel around the reading that we've just done and the Khan exercises that you've just done, and just write a summary of what you learned in your journal. And then the next thing is to do, we're going to go into this weighing a tiger lab. Now, I just want to notice that there's some stuff in here This is basically like a lab that we would have done in class. And so this talks about what the demonstration was about and sort of the conceptual piece around it. But then I go ahead and just start laying it all out in this video right here. And so this video is kind of like what I would have done in the class. Now, as you look through the video, I have this slide here that just shows you the materials that we would have needed to do this in class, okay? And I'm using those materials in the video. And then the data that we pull out of the video, I put it right here in one slide so we can take a look at the data and make sense of it. And then I show you the math and how we solve through the math here in the video. And then the final thing is there's one question here. How much does this tiger weigh? You should be able to answer this question based on what you learned in the video. Okay, and don't forget to use the speaker notes down here to make sense of what we're doing. And then the final thing to do today would be to fill out the daily reflection form. And for asynchronous classes, that is your attention, so your attendance. So make sure you do that. Okay, well, that's it, guys. Have a great day and enjoy yourself.